Talk. I'm Daniel.
I'm Andrew.
This is Andrew, yes. And we are going to be talking a little bit of everything. Tiger Woods, NBA. We're going to talk a little bit of this and that, see what's going on. Let's start off. Tiger Woods.
Man, it was a very exciting day today, knowing that he won his first Masters, and it seemed like forever. Just an exciting time.
Yeah, 15th major win, puts him just 3 less than the famous Jack Nicklaus of golf world. 5th green jacket, he passes Arnold Palmer. He's 1 shy of Jack Nicklaus in that area, but it's his first Masters win since 2005. I mean, he seemed kind of really irrelevant for a long time in the golf world, do you think?
Yeah, just seeing all those bad things that have happened to him in like the recent years, very exciting to see him come back.
It almost seems like a redemption story. I mean, he was on top of the world in as far as golf goes, and really, I mean, on every commercial you saw him there for a while, and then he has all this personal stuff that takes place. He kind of falls from the graces of America. Everybody watches just to see him fail. But I think the golf world needs Tiger Woods.
Yeah, definitely. As a not fan of the golf, as a fan not of golf, it's really exciting having a fan that you can, a person that you can really watch and enjoy the game, not even knowing that much of golf, just knowing that you're cheering for somebody in his whole idea.
Yeah, I'm definitely not really a big golf fan. In fact, I'm the type that says, you know, that golf course sure is pretty. Too bad they messed it up by playing golf on it. But Tiger Woods is an interesting one to follow. He makes golf relevant, not just for avid golf fans, but for the casual observer. I mean, it gives us something to talk, whether you want to cheer against him because you don't like him, or whether you want to cheer for him. He's a relevant story, and it's good to see him back on top of the game because it's good for the game of golf. It makes that relevant again. Now let's transition for just a minute because we're going to hear a lot about Tiger Woods on every channel. It seems like everybody's going to be talking about it. They're going to be talking about it on sports radio. In fact, I can't wait to tune in tomorrow at 2 o'clock if you're in Oklahoma, in the state of Oklahoma, because we have a radio host that is always talking about Tiger Woods and how he's never going to win another major. He's made big wagers on it, and he's going to be losing a lot of money this week. Just going to let him know that. So I'm going to tune in tomorrow to hear that. So we're going to hear a lot about that. So let's talk a little bit about the NBA playoffs. What about Steph Curry this week? I mean, breaking the record for the most three-pointers in the playoffs.
Just amazing. It seems like every year that Steph Curry is in the playoffs, and every year he's always progressing in like his statistics and always seeming to break a record. Again, in the first round, you think it wouldn't be that interesting, just another first round. The Warriors blow by a team, but Steph Curry always seeming to make it interesting, passing Ray Allen and all-time three-pointers in the playoffs. Just a great stat.
Steph Curry is just a fun guy to watch. I mean, because I'm a Thunder fan, I'm not a Warriors fan. But he's a fun guy to watch. I mean, to watch Steph Curry, you can't help but be awestruck, I think, by just his ability to score.
Yeah, you gotta respect his game because it's never been done before. His ability just to make threes and get his teammates going. Other teams knowing that he's that lethal from 3 that you have to double guard him, which gives his other teammates going. In the first quarter, he had Draymond Green going for great amounts, making great plays. Something that Draymond doesn't usually do often, and it was just something great to see.
Yeah. Here's the question that always comes up whenever you get to this time of year. Is there even any reason to watch the NBA playoffs? Is it a foregone conclusion that the Golden State Warriors are going to win? Are they going to sweep the Clippers? The Clippers even have a chance at winning the game? And then does anybody have a chance of beating the Clippers? Of the Warriors.
I do think the Clippers have a chance with Patrick Beverley as their Energizer Bunny and just as their workhorse. I think they can get a game against Golden State. Obviously, he's not going to do it by himself. They got a great offensive cast. They got Lou Williams coming out as 6th man, just one of the best scorers in the league. I think Lou Williams could get, and Patrick Beverley combined could get a game against the Warriors and all the way through the final and get to the finals. I think the Warriors will get to the finals, but I think the Bucks will make it out of the East and maybe put a run for the money.
So you got the Bucks coming out of the East.
Yeah, I do have the Bucks. After that Philadelphia game, I really just don't trust Philadelphia after that performance against the Nets.
Is Philly in trouble?
It seems like so, because after that loss to the Celtics last year, it seems like they were on the progressing just to get better and better. But after this year, not doing so well against the Nets in game one, getting all the boos, getting shout out. It just doesn't seem like they'll make it out the first round, let alone all the way to the finals.
Is there any city that turns on their fans quicker than the Philadelphia fans?
No, just not that aggressively, because you'll see when fans will disagree with like a decision their star makes, but never front out and booing them at the game that loud and that passionate about booing, because they were so mad.
Yeah, that's a tough place to play. I don't envy those guys. I mean, but I think with Joel Embiid being limited, I mean he's not playing to his potential. He's hurt. The fans are turning on him. You got Johnson over there playing on his phone. He was fined, by the way. I think they're in trouble. Whereas maybe a month or two ago they were the front runners possibly in the East, but now I don't even know if they get out of this series.
Yeah, as a 3 seed, you would think they would have a chance because they're only below Boston. I mean, the Bucks and the Raptors, and you would think they're the 3rd seed. They would have the 3rd best options to make it to the finals, but it just doesn't seem like that. With the Celtics there and the Nets obviously putting up some good pressure, it just doesn't seem like they'll make it out of the finals.
Let's go back to the West. I wonder if there's any team that's more dysfunctional right now than the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, you've got the thing going on with Magic Johnson just saying, "This isn't fun. I quit." I've heard a lot of people talking about that situation. Saying, "Hey, I have to put in a 2-week notice at my job." What's he doing? He's just sitting there saying, "I quit. I'm done." What are you thinking of that situation and that team? Can they ever come back to what they used to be?
That's just a weird situation to be put in as the head coach getting fired and as the players getting your coach, the coach is leaving and the head of the Lakers is leaving. It's just a weird positioning, and I don't think it'll be a good outlook for the Lakers in the future years. What's
the deal with LeBron? I mean, LeBron James is one of the best, if not the best, player currently playing. How come nobody wants to go there with him? Why doesn't anybody want to play with him? It seems like, everybody a couple of years ago was talking about how Paul George was going to go join him. He decides to stay in Oklahoma City. Nobody seems to really want to play with LeBron. Is he a ball hawk? Is he a bad teammate? What's the deal with him?
I think LeBron is a great player to play with, but I don't think the idea and the whole media situation with LeBron is a good situation to be in. As a player, you want to focus on getting your money and having some good numbers, and just getting paid is not a good thing not an option when you're with LeBron, because it's always about LeBron, and I don't think you can get that recognition when LeBron is on your team.
It's funny you mention that because I don't even remember hearing Lonzo Ball anymore. That's all you heard for a long time was that guy. Now it's all LeBron all the time. One of the things that I think hurts LeBron's image a little bit is he seems to be a guy that wants the ball. He wants to play off the ball, kind of be the quarterback of it. He doesn't have the body of a point guard, but he kind of automatically assumes that position, and he's great at it. But that's hard to get somebody that's a real point guard to come and play with him. That was kind of the problem that him and Kyrie had. He demands the ball, and he kind of has to play off the ball, has to be the quarterback on the field, assuming that point guard position when he's not really even a point guard.
Yeah, if a team really wants to make if the Lakers really want to make a push, they're going to have other players playing roles like that, like as the quarterback and as the ball dominant player. Because I don't think LeBron has it in him to command that role and to be everything that the Lakers are asking him to be. I think he needs other players to fill in that spot.
Question: will LeBron ever make it to the finals again now that he's in the West?
I think if the Lakers can get some players around him, an all-star level caliber player, I think they can make it. But LeBron by himself with the Lakers, I don't think he can make it to the playoffs, to the finals.
Yeah. So what about here locally? I mean, we're in Oklahoma, so we're all about the Thunder here. It's playoff time. And the Oklahoma City Thunder, there for a while, looked like they were going to be the 8th seed, and then they make a push, they make it to the 6th seed. They get the best possible matchup, I believe, in Portland. Talk a little bit about that game today. What did you see?
Well, seeding-wise, the Thunder could probably have the best outcome. They got the 6th seed, so now they don't have to play Golden State or the Rockets until the conference finals. I think it was very unusual putting these two. It was very unusual and interesting putting these two teams together that haven't made out of the first round in a couple of years. The Thunder having a first round exit, and the Trailblazers also having a first round exit last year. And now you're putting these two teams at each other in the first round, meaning one of them has to go to the second round. But it was just very interesting seeing how the first game went.
Yeah, Thunder swept the regular season series, but that definitely, the playoffs, whole different game. As we saw the Blazers take game 1. Some of the things that I see, Steven Adams needs to punish Enes Kanter. I mean, there's no way Kanter should be that relevant in the playoffs. You remember whenever he played for the Thunder, he was a liability for the Thunder on that defensive end, and he can easily be exploited defensively. But we didn't see really Adams really going at him today. It didn't seem like, in fact, Kanter, I believe, had the better game of the two, especially with his rebounding ability.
Yeah, Steven Adams only having 9 rebounds in that entire game, and Kanter doubling his rebounds with 18, also putting up 20 points. I think Steven Adams is obviously the better player, but the way Kanter played his game today was he just played way better than Adams today. Just getting the shots he wanted. Steven Adams must be more physical, and if he wants to win this lower court fight.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good to see PG-13 out there. I mean, he was questionable for this game. A lot of people thought maybe he wouldn't play game 1, but he was out there. He competed well, and in fact, of the 5 3-pointers made, Paul George makes 4 of them. Do you think he's the most valuable player to the Thunder at this time?
Yeah, there's been several games where the only 3-pointers that have come out of the Thunder have been from Paul George.
Yes.
Just practically no other 3-pointers made from any other team, other player, seems like, in some of these games. And we need that because Paul George, he's a lethal 3-point shooter, but we need other people to step in. It seemed like after we heard that shoulder injury from Paul George was going to happen. It seemed like it was a bummer because we just had a 5-game win streak. Just got a great seed in the West.
Yes.
And we hear about Paul George's injury, and then that's a bummer because we know what that kind of thing can do to him.
Yeah, but it was good to see him out there and to see him competing. The Thunder, I think for one, it's Westbrook might be the emotional leader of the team. He's the explosive one, but I think in terms of who's the most valuable to the team at this time, I think it is Paul George, in my opinion, because he tends to be the most consistent of the two. I don't know that I'd be ready to call it Paul George's team, but he seems to be the most consistent of the two.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that one?
Way too early to call Paul George's team because it seems like Russell Westbrook is the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
seeing some positive things and still the loss of only by 6 points with shooting that bad from 3-pointer, 5 of 33. Russell shot well from the free throw line, which is a positive thing you can say.
Yeah, because he hadn't been shooting well from the free throw line, but today he was really sharp at the line. He was clutch at those free throws. Some great moments. The problem that I have with the Thunder more than anything is they live and die by the 3-pointer, and I don't think they should be a 3-point shooting team. That should be something that they do very selectively. 33 3-pointers, in my opinion, is way too many 3-pointers for the Thunder to be shooting. Now, if you're a team like the Rockets or the Warriors, where you have some of the best 3-point shooters in the land, that's one thing. But the Thunder just aren't there. They have moments where they can get hot. They're kind of streaky from the 3-point line. But I don't think they should be popping up 33 3-pointers. I think if they work it inside, play an inside-out game, they probably would have won this game, and I think they'd win the series and they'd be serious contenders for a title. But if they're going to live and die by the 3, they tend to die by it more than they live by it.
Yeah, they really need to hang their hat on the defensive end with all that length. They really need to start playing more aggressive on defense. That being their role, that being their calling as a team, as a defensive-minded team. I think they should hang their hat on that instead of shooting threes and creative offensive plays. They should look for scores on the defensive end and turnovers.
I think as far as role players, I'm going to tell you my favorite one is. We have Westbrook, we have Paul George, we have Steven Adams. Those seem to be the 3 that everybody mentions with the Thunder. But my favorite one that's not named with those 3 names has to be Jeremy Grant. He can come up pretty clutch. He's fast. He's great on the defensive end. We saw him get a couple of key blocks. He's got that length, those long arms. He's not afraid to go one-on-one, to drive to the basket. He can hit the occasional 3. He's a guy that I think is going to kind of be an X factor in this series. If he can play well, if the other guys are doing well, and then he can kind of help relieve some of that pressure, give them a little bit where they have to watch for somebody else in there. I think Jeremy Grant is that guy.
Yeah, Jeremy Grant does so well when he's driving to the paint. Seems like he's making floaters every once in a while, and he's also one of the best 3-point shooters on the team. Not as fluent as Paul George's shot, but it's almost there. Just how consistent he is with his 3-pointers will win that in this playoff series.
Who do you think's got this series, and in how many games?
I think with all that negative stuff that happened to the Thunder and how poorly they shot, I still think the Thunder have a chance. Either 6 or 7 games coming back. The second game will be really decisive because if the Thunder go 2-0 and lose 2-0, I don't think they have a chance coming back. I just don't think they can muster up that energy to come back to OKC and win the rest of the games.
Yeah, I think the Thunder has to win this one. They have to steal the home court advantage, and the only way that they can do that is if they win this next game, Game 2. They've got to pull this one off in order, I think, to have a chance in this series. I don't think it's out of reach if they lose Game 2. That's impossible, but they don't want to get into an 0-2 hole here. Not against the Blazers and kind of the streakiness. The Thunder, one thing I like about them is they're never out of a game. They'll be down. We've seen them down nearly every game here towards the end of the season, and they come back and they win or they make a game of it. But exerting all of that energy, you've got Paul George, who's playing injured. He's playing hurt. Westbrook, hopefully his ankle's okay. He kind of tweaked it a little bit today, but he did finish out the game. Hopefully, all of those things aren't the deciding factor. The Thunder really need to come out strong and not have to play from behind so much, and exert all that energy towards the end. If they're able to come out and play even, play smart basketball, not shooting 33 3-pointers, but really playing sound defense first minded ball, Westbrook driving it, he's the fastest guy on the court. If he can drive it to the inside, dish it out on occasion, but make them play tight near the basket. And Steven Adams, he needs to pressure Cantor. You know, I mean, we've got a huge break, and Cantor having to be the starter for the Portland Trailblazers, because otherwise I don't know that Steven Adams would be relevant in this series, because because he's playing against Cantor, he's got the edge, and he's got to take advantage of it. He can't let Cantor push him around like he did today.
Yeah, and if the Thunder really want to make a playoff push this series, I really think they need to try to wrap up these final 5 games as fast as possible. I think they need to win. I think they definitely need to win this next one in Portland. Win the next 2 at Thunder, and I think that's the only way they can make a good playoff push, because they can't stay back and have a 7-game series with the Trailblazers and then go to either Denver or the Spurs and play another long series. I think they need to get done with this series as fast as possible, have some time to rest, and go challenge either Denver or San Antonio.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today. That's Sports Talk. I'm Daniel. He's
Andrew.
We'll see you next time.